अस्सलाम वालेकुम दोस्तों। आज हम पढ़ने जा रहे हैं रीजनिंग का एक सेक्शन जिसका नाम है इनइक्वालिटी। इनइक्वालिटी के क्वेश्चंस बैंक में एसएससी आरआरबी इन एग्जाम्स में 5 नंबर के तो आते ही हैं। सो वी विल स्टार्ट फ्रॉम दिस दैट इनइक्वालिटी is of two types. One is simple type and next is coded type. In this lecture we will try to learn the concept of the simple type, and in next lecture we will try to solve the questions based on the coded type. So to solve the questions whether they are from the simple type or coded type, we have to remember one diagram, that is this. In this diagram we can see two families. One is this and next family is this. So in our first family we have greater than or equal to, and is equal to. And in our second family we have less than, is equal to, and less than or equal to. So in our first family we give our first preference to greater than sign, next preference to greater than or equal to, and third preference is given to is equal to sign. In our second family we give our first preference to less than sign, then less than or equal to, then last is equal to sign. Let me clear this concept through some examples. For example, we have statement A is greater than B, B is greater than or equal to C, C is equal to D. This is statement, and our conclusion is A is greater than D, and second conclusion is B is less than A, or I can say B is less than A, I can say A is greater than B. This is the same thing. So from this we have to see if A is greater than D, we have to check this from this statement. So there are three signs: greater than or equal to, and is equal to. In these three signs, greater than or equal to, and is equal to, the first preference is given to greater than. So A is greater than D is true. In the same way, A is greater than B, A is greater than B, so this is also correct. So both the conclusions follow. Similarly, we will take the next question. For example, I have a statement: A is greater than or equal to B, B is equal to C, C is greater than or equal to D, D is equal to E, E is greater than or equal to F. And I have two conclusions. First conclusion is A is greater than F, and second conclusion is A is equal to F. So my first conclusion is A is greater than F. I will check my statement. I have to go from A to F. I have to go from A to F. F is here. Okay. I have greater than or equal to sign, is equal to sign, greater than or equal to sign, is equal to sign, and greater than or equal to sign. I don't have any greater than sign here from A to F. So this conclusion is wrong because I don't have any greater than sign in our statement. Now we will go for the second conclusion, that is E is equal to F. We will check our statement. A is greater than B, B is equal to C, C is greater than or equal to D, is equal to E, E is greater than or equal to F. So we have to check whether A is equal to F. I have told you that first preference is given to greater than, next preference is given to greater than or equal to, and third preference is given to equal to. So in this statement we have two symbols, greater than or equal to, and next symbol is equal to. Greater than or equal to and equal to. So our first preference will be given to greater than or equal to. So this conclusion is also wrong because the preference have been given to is equal to sign. Our next question is here. I have statement T is less than U, U is equal to V, V is greater than or equal to S, S is greater than P, and P is greater than or equal to Q. And conclusion is S is greater than T, or I can write it as T is less than S. This is the one and the same thing. And second conclusion is V is greater than Q. So I will go for the first conclusion, that is T is less than S. T is here and S is here. So I have one sign, two sign and three signs. But I have first sign from the second family and next two signs from the first family. If there is such condition that our some signs are from the first family and some signs are from the second family, in conclusion we will simply cross it. That is T is less than S, means I am going from T to S, and T to S, for moving from T to S I have to move from T to S. So for this, less than is from second family and is equal to from first family. This is also from first family, means this, to go from T to S I have to move through two families, that's first family and second family. So I will cross it. Now V is greater than Q. V is here and Q is here. I have 1, 2 and 3 symbols, that's greater than or equal to, greater than and greater than or equal to, means I have two symbols, greater than and greater than or equal to. So in greater than and greater than or equal to, preference is given to greater than. So here preference has been given to greater than. So our conclusion second is true. You will be given 5 options there, A, B, C, D and E. In first option your option will be only conclusion first follows, only conclusion second follows, either conclusion 1 or 2, neither conclusion 1 or 2, and both conclusion 1 and second follows. In this question, first conclusion was wrong and second conclusion was right. So B part, so our A part is wrong, B part is wrong, third part is wrong, our E part is correct. That's both conclusion first and second follows. Moving to our next question, S is greater than M, M is equal to Z, Z is greater than T, T is less than Q, Q is greater than V. Our conclusions are V is equal to S, Q is greater than M. So we will check our statement for our first conclusion, that's V is equal to S. V is here and S is here. So we have to move from right to left. We can also write V is equal to S as S is equal to V. This is the one and the same thing. V is equal to S or S is equal to V. Now we have to move from S to V. We have greater than symbol, is equal to symbol, greater than or equal to, less than and greater than. We have symbols from both the families, first family and the second family. So our conclusion is wrong. Our second conclusion is Q is greater than M. We have to move from here to here, or I can write it as M is less than Q. That's M to Q. We have is equal to sign, greater than sign and less than sign, means we have symbols from both the families. That means our conclusion second is also wrong. D option will be correct, that is neither conclusion first nor conclusion second follows. Okay, now we will do one question in which our statement has two sections. For example, here A is greater than B, less than or equal to C, less than D, is equal to E, greater than F, greater than or equal to G. And our second portion of this statement is H is equal to E, less than or equal to T. Okay, and our conclusion is H is greater than G, A is less than E. So we will see our first conclusion, that is H is greater than G. H, where is H? H is here in our second section and G is in our first section. What we have to do in such questions, we have to check what is common in both the sections? Here we have E, here in the second section we also have E. H is equal to E means this H can be written in place of E. That is it. I have written here H. Okay, H is greater than G means H is greater than equal to F. F is greater than or equal to G. I have two signs from the same family, that's greater than and greater than and equal. Now priority is given to the first symbol, that is greater than. H is greater than G means our conclusion is. Now moving to our next conclusion, that is A is less than E. We have to move from A, and E is here means I have to move from A to E. So in between these two symbols I have greater than and less than or equal to. I have two symbols from different families means this conclusion will be wrong, and our option A will be correct means only conclusion first false. Moving to our next question, A is less than or A is less than B, B is less than or equal to C, C is greater than D, D is less than or equal to E. And the next section of our statement is X is greater than Y is equal to D. Our first conclusion is B is less than or equal to D. We will check that B is here and D is here. So in between B and D we have two symbols, but from both the families, that is less than or equal to and greater than. So we'll cross our first conclusion. Now our second conclusion is C is greater than E. C is here and E is here. We have one symbol from one conclusion and next symbol from another family. Sorry, we have one symbol from one family and next symbol from next family, so we will cross it. Our third conclusion is Y is less than C means Y is here and C is here. Okay, but we know that D is here and D is also here. In both the sections we have D as a common element, so we can write, instead of D we can write Y here. So I have written Y here. Okay, now what is our question? Y is less than C means Y is greater than C. C, or I can write it as C is greater than Y. C is greater than Y is less than C, or C is greater than or greater than Y, because we have to go from left to right. C is greater than Y. Here C is greater than Y. So our conclusion third is right. X is less than or equal to C. Where is our X? Here, and C is here. Okay. Here we have X is greater than Y means I can write X in place of C, that is X is greater than Y. Okay, now C and X have the same position, but in our conclusion it is telling us that C is less than or equal to X is less than or equal to C. So this conclusion is also false. In our next lecture we will go for the coded section. We have two types, simple type and coded type. In our next lecture we will go for the coded type. Till then, have a nice day. Shukran. Please subscribe my channel, please and please.